Hello, everybody. I'm so excited for everyone's going to watch this as we hit record and watch the replay again and again. I have a powerful story today that I'm going to bring to you with my friend Danny Judge, and she is growing with our Front Royal team out there in Virginia. And I wanted to bring her story on today because it's so powerful, it's so unique, and her LifeVantage history goes back, I'm just thinking 2014. Was it 2000?
2011.
2011. That was 8 years before I was introduced to LifeVantage. So this is incredible bringing Danny on and her whole perspective and how long she's been activated and how much she believes in it. So, Danny, can you just give us a little bit of background on you beforehand, just your kind of background, and then let us know like when you were introduced to activation?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for being here today. I had just come off back in 2011. I had just come off of 4 years of doing missionary work with Focus, and that's where I met my husband. And so I was out, we decided to get married out in California where I grew up. And so I had flown out a little bit earlier and flew into Oregon and then drove down to California with my mom. And I remember on our drive down, my mom sharing with me, "Hey, I've been doing something for a couple of months now. I want to, tell you about it." So she starts telling me about how she just got involved with this company called LifeVantage, and it was a network marketing company, and it had just one product, I think, at that time, maybe two. But it was all about this breakthrough product that they had just discovered a few years earlier, really, called Protandim Nerf 2. And so she starts telling me about what activation is, what this Protandim Nerf 2 does, and how it reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And I'm like, wait, what's oxidative stress? Like, what are you talking about? So we go into more details about it. And she says, there's this video, there's an ABC primetime investigative report that was done. So you can watch that. That'll explain it better to you. So I said, okay. So because I was listening and I was thinking, okay, mom, like this sounds really too good to be true. Like if this was true, everyone would know about it already. So why do you just know about it now? And you're telling me. And she was like, yeah, that's what I thought too. And she said, I had all these questions. And she's like, but I looked into it. I got all my questions answered and I couldn't say no. And she, was sharing with me how she just started thinking of all these people that needed this in their life. And so I went back and I looked at the video and I did the same thing. I was like, wow, this is actually does what it says it's going to do. It has peer-reviewed studies on PubMed. I looked into it and I thought, okay, I want to be on this product for the rest of my life. Like because of what it does, I know that this is right now the best thing I can do for preventative health, basically. Like this is just going to be my non-negotiable for me and my family, my husband, here on out. So I said, yeah, sign me up. And
How
I
old
was
are you?
so I got married, I was 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so I fell in love with the product, and then I signed up also just on the business side as a consultant because I, in the same way that my mom did, just started thinking of all these friends of mine who had all these health issues already, and needed to know about this. So I said, I'm going to share this with them. I'm going to pass on this information to them. And this is really, I felt passionately about doing that. So I did. I shared some of that, with them. But really was just a firm believer in this product. And already when I first started taking it, I didn't have any like major health issues. I was like, oh, I hope this helps with. But one thing I did notice is for me and my family members, when we all first started taking it, we were all struggling with like heartburn, indigestion type of things. I don't know, maybe because we're Italian, we eat those rich foods all the time or something. But we were all taking like Prilosec and stuff all the time, and so that stopped immediately. And then also, I know my mom was dealing with some pretty severe anxiety things because I remember like when she would ride with if she wasn't driving and she was the passenger in the front seat, she could hardly stand somebody else driving. Like it was really, really hard for her. So immediately, like we saw that go away for her. Like she just became way more relaxed, and that was a huge benefit. And then, yeah, so many things for different family members. My grandma with her kidneys and arthritis, my other grandma with her melanoma, and other incredible stories that I really don't have time to go into, but
But you saw
it
it
set us on this
firsthand
path. Yeah.
change your family's life
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the point that when you met with Amber and I, you had
Fast forward, let's see. So that was last year, 2024. And so that was 13 years later.
13 years later. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that because here you are, one of the first people to know about NRF2 activation,
Yeah.
catching the vision of what it is, understanding at 26 you're going to be on it for all your life, seeing it dramatically change both grandmothers, change your mother, and it worked for me the way it worked in your mother. So your mom had how many children?
Three.
Three children. I feel like everything your mom expressed, feeling and dealing with is what I was dealing with, not even knowing I was dealing with it.
Mm.
Because my mood became so balanced and any sort of like anger or anything like that completely dissipated with NRF2 activation and stabilized my mood. I didn't even know I had any issues until you don't have them anymore. And you're
Yeah.
like, holy cow, I thought it was just, that was amazing. So what happened is a dear friend of yours, like, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
She tells you what?
Yeah, so then this is great too because this is a childhood friend from the West Coast. Her name's Amber, and so I hear, 13 years later, hear about Amber doing LifeVantage. She invites me to an event. I was like, wait a second, you're doing LifeVantage? Like I didn't think anybody really knew about it out here. Living in Virginia now with my husband and seven children. We have seven children at this point, and so I was like, oh yeah, like I'll come to your event. Like I do like Vanna. She's like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I've been a part of this, for 13 years now. And so I go to her event, and it's basically me and a couple other ladies, and you had come out to support Amber and to put on this event at a coffee shop here in town. And so I just went to support her. But when I was there and I met you and heard your story, and really it was for me that you had been able to do this business, raising a family financially. Like you retired your husband in 3 years from his professional chef career because you wanted more time with him, and now you guys were traveling the country. And I just thought, wow, like what a beautiful story. And the way that your team was doing it, that also was the second part. Like Amber is a dear friend of mine, and I started to get excited about this thought of like, whoa, I could work with Amber, and how they're doing it is just sharing their story on social media. Like that's, everything is going online now, like shopping, everything. And so it was something that I saw I could do from my home while raising seven children, while doing this work for their school that I also do, and excited again about how these products are changing other people's lives because I saw Amber's life being changed by the products and hearing her story, and then the people she was sharing it with, her family members and friends, and yours. And I just hadn't heard those in a long time because I wasn't connected with any other LifeVantage people. And so hearing that just reminded me, yes, this product and these products activation is changing people's lives, and it's been such a gift for me and my family that I do need to share this with everyone. So it was just like two wins. Like this is a message I feel passionately about sharing, and this is a business that I can do to create some financial freedom for my family, which needs it right now.
I love this story because that goes to show you the kind of person you are, Danny, because you went to this event just being like, you know what? I believe 100% in what you're doing. You're my friend, and I'm coming to this thing to support you. This has nothing to do with me. I already know the information, and it almost changed your life. It's amazing when you go to an event how it changes your life, and you saw suddenly the business side of it. And so what has it looked like since you started to like work with Team Lionheart, work with Amber? Um, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, thanks. Well, I've learned a lot. What it looked like in the beginning to what it looks like now has changed. But um, what do we say? Like you learn as you grow, and you don't have to know everything at the beginning. Like you can believe in something and jump in, and then grow from there. So that's kind of how I did it. And but I plugged into the things that I was told this is important. Commit to, your once a week meeting with the team, learn there. You're going to be poured into, and you're going to learn how to do this from that commitment. And so I did. And some of the big things are like our daily success habits, which is really just committing to whatever you want it to be 40 minutes, an hour, hour and a half of being present, of posting online, really just your story, your passion, who you are, what you have to offer others. And so I really have tried to do that consistently, to share my passion for my faith, my family, Montessori education for my children, and then health and wellness. And that looks like a number of different things too, because it really coincided with our family's journey of health, really like cutting out, bad oils and different things from our pantry. Like we did a whole pantry over,
Same.
and then just, be more intentional about getting outside and morning sunshine and all these different things that we know are good for us. And so anyways, the business coincided with our lifestyle, and then connecting with this team that we have, it really surprisingly gave me such joy to have something that was mine, that I was doing, and I was doing it for others, for my family, and for, sharing this message with others. But I've felt fulfilled in it, just like having something that I get to commit to, and I'm growing in my mindset, I'm growing in my confidence, I'm growing in professionalism. So I didn't I didn't join for that reason, but I've found that as another just gift and blessing, because this company is so positive. The people, the leaders in it are pouring into others. What I love is like people like you who have been doing this for a long time and have a bunch of people on their team. Like you are giving this time to me, and to my teammates and people who are striving to build a life that's, better for our families. And so it's just blown me away how like selfless the people are, and how giving of their talents they are to other people, other teammates willing to help other people. And I've loved that aspect of this business.
It's so special. I feel like everything to when you come to LifeVantage, when you come to our team, whatever you come for, you just get so much more.
Yeah.
Come for health, you get, I don't know, you get a team, or you can grow an income, or you can
Yeah.
find a community you didn't know, or fall in love with a personal growth journey.
Yeah.
Like something I didn't understand how much I would love is just like,
Yeah.
holy cow, how much can I really truly become the person God designed me to be?
Yeah.
know? And I
Yeah.
always think of that Saint Catherine of Siena quote, be who God called you to be and you'll set the world on fire. And I really truly
Yes.
believe this is a business model that allows us to be who God called us to be and
Yeah.
really set the world on fire. And it becomes like almost missionary work in a sense. And that's funny that you came from missionary work because we are mind, body, and soul, and our bodies are being hijacked. Our environment is hijacked. Our health is hijacked. Our statistics are absolutely dire with 1 in 2 women having cancer, 54% of children with chronic and autoimmune disease. California, where you're from, 1 in 12 boys has autism. And 50% of people are diabetic or pre-diabetic. So those are our numbers, despite the fact that we have supplements galore. We have all kinds of healthy things and healthy options out there, and still families who are doing everything right, they're suffering. They're the
Yeah.
victim to this environment. And so we have an answer that is going back to ourselves and turning on the systems that God created, and they're so powerful. And
Yeah.
so I was thinking as you were saying, so our company started out as a small medical breakthrough. It
Yeah.
wasn't direct sales at all.
Yeah.
And then it had this investigative report that Danny spoke about at the beginning, right? And then it 4 or 5 years later, it went into person to person selling because it needed people to spread the word. It needed to activate these people to tell their families about it. And it's funny because you learned about it so early, Danny,
Yeah.
and then because we met up again only, last year in
Yeah.
2024, I almost feel like it must feel like for you like you've been in a coma. It's like you were married and you everything was wonderful and you had this amazing husband, but now you've woken up from a coma and we're like, well, you have 7 kids and it's just gotten better. And like all the things that you missed while you were sleeping.
Yeah.
And truly, during that time where Amber has been Danny, sorry, I'm thinking of Amber, has been focused on building her family and staying activated, knowing what it is, we developed other activators and our compensation plan has gotten better. And so instead of being like, oh, I missed out because I didn't build my business during those years, it's the opposite. It truly is something that just gets better and better and better and better. And so I've been actively building this business for almost 7 years. And I tell people all the time, like, join now, now is the time. And then the next year, I'll be like, no, it's better now. Now is the time. And now I'm like, it's better now. And
Yeah.
let's talk, Danny, about what's so exciting now. In the last 2 years, it's literally the compensation plan. It's just
Yeah.
evolved.
Yeah. And the proof in that too, Andrea, I think is I'm seeing other women who have joined our team who just joined like 2 months ago, and they're already past me and you know, like jumping the ranks and just like sharing this with more people. They have so many customers under them because they just are sharing it with such passion. And like you said, the company keeps getting better and it has more products that are just able to help more people. And so it's not like if you join now. I was actually thinking of this. I was thinking of the gospel passage of the
Right?
parable of the talents, where like the vineyard owner goes out and finds people to work in his vineyard and keeps going out and more people. He brings them in
Yes.
at different times, right? And so the people who just worked like a few hours during the day, they get the same pay as the people who have been working, all day long or more. And they're like, wait, how come they get paid the same amount as we do? He said, no, no, no. Like you can't be jealous that I'm a generous, owner. And I told them this is what they would get paid. And so I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh, that's like our company. Like if you do this work, you will get paid this, even if you come in later. Like you can make the same amount of these people who have been in this business for so long, as long as you just do the work and you get to, this point. And so I was just thinking, man, it's like this business model actually models like the gospel and the generosity that God wants for us. And so I was thinking about that. And the other part that goes with it too, I think is the call to whom much has been given, much will be expected. And that was the call that I felt to do missionary work right out of college. And then that was the call I felt again when I got reignited about working this business. To whom much has been given, much will be expected. And so I just felt like I can't keep this to myself because it's too good. And so I jumped back in, and yeah, the company now is just in such an amazing place because it is publicly traded. It's on the NASDAQ. It's debt free. And it just keeps growing because of the goodness of what it has and the people running it. And then just recently, the company just acquired another health company. Are we allowed to say the name of that company? I don't
Yes,
know. Okay.
you want to share it, but
Love Biome. I'm so excited. I'm just learning about them, but they have this amazing product that is all about gut health and healing the microbiome. And so that's just so exciting to me because that's something personally I've been working on as well. And we just keep expanding the ways that we're able to activate our own bodies and these healing pathways that God's put in us to allow our bodies to heal themselves. And so I think this is going to make a huge difference in so many people's lives. It's what we're looking for. It's what we need in this time that so many of our foods are depleted. We can't actually find good vegetables and foods that have the nourishment that we need. And so I'm super excited that our company has done this, is joining with another company, and is just going up and up from here.
I'll piggyback onto that to say that the companies that have gone, it's almost like filtering the wheat from the chaff right now
Yeah.
with network marketing because some companies have fallen and they haven't been ready to rise up in the change of I want just how things are changing today globally with the way people are. And a lot of private companies have gone out of business in the
Yeah.
last, I think 10 companies in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
LifeVantage is just so solid. And what we love is it's publicly traded on the NASDAQ. The numbers are there. They're reported every quarter. They're debt-free, publicly traded, and they keep growing. This was going to be the next legacy company. This is an incredible company to partner with. And everything they do is a bold, visionary move forward. So our CEO is saying, we're not playing to not lose or just to kind of be relevant. We're playing to win and be the most exceptional company out there and the company to join. And so this acquisition of another company is essentially like leapfrogging ahead of any of the competition. We're growing massively by bringing on another 6,000 consultants seemingly overnight. Will be fully integrated by November 1st. And this is just a massive time, an exciting time to just become a part of this and grow with us. There's certain time, you can always build your own momentum in any company. I believe that firmly. But if you can get in at a time like this, where this isn't just a wave, Danny, it's like a tsunami. I mean,
Uh,
we saw a massive wave with our GLP-1 launch activator last year, and of course our foundational activators. But what's coming now with the acquisition of Love Biome, incorporating the gut microbiome to our activators, and essentially like bringing on a whole new field of people excited and passionate about natural health and healing is going to be an exciting time to join. It's a time where all ships rise. And why not yours? So if you guys are thinking about making an income from home, joining a community of women who love God, are passionate about health, freedom, helping each other. Get with Danny and anyone who invited you to learn about this presentation. What we have our hands on is something truly amazing. And honestly, the retention is incredible because Danny just told you that how many years have you been on Nerf 2?
14.
14.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
this fall.
can you share the difference? What difference did you notice at 26?
Yeah, like I said, I mean the indigestion was the big thing that was the only health issue that I think I noticed. But then just being activated like almost every day since then, I'm just in awe of, I think, and just so grateful for the health that I have, the health of my children, having seven wonderful births, and their health. And, I don't know exactly what it's doing in me, like as far as particular directing it in particular ways, but what I do know is it's keeping my body filtering out the bad, letting it absorb as much good as it can, giving me energy, like all those things. And so that puts me at such peace too, because right, like I don't know, like you said about the women like having cancer, like I've had people close to me and just people who, I've heard of through others, but like young people recently just suffering from this horrible disease. And it begins to create a little bit of fear in you, right? You're like, oh, maybe I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't live that way. All I can do is live as healthy as I can, and try to get all the stress out of there and try to, walk and all these things. And I said, and to myself, I'm like, and I'm activating. I'm staying activated every day. Like that's giving me such a good shot of just my body being able to handle what it's supposed to be able to handle. So um, that's why I'm a firm believer in it. Like I don't know the specifics of what
I
it's doing, but I just
I
know it's doing the
I
right
love that.
things.
Did you have like some kind of endometriosis or something?
Oh gosh, well, possibly. Like when I first got pregnant with my first child in 2013. So let's see. Yeah, 2013. So it had been about a year and a half since I had first started just taking the Nerf 2. And I remember my doctor on my first appointment looking because I had been charting. And so she was looking at my charts and she was like, well, you are pregnant. Congratulations. She was like, but just by looking at your charts, like I would have like possibly diagnosed you with PCOS. Like it just very irregular, all these things. And she was like, so we'll just like keep an eye on that. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because, I I realized, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I haven't had very regular cycles, all these things.
Oh no, it's
And oh,
it cut
sorry.
out just for a second. I think it's me,
Okay.
but I hope it
Um,
doesn't watch our recording.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, a friend of mine who has been on the products just more recently for a few months now, and is looking to, help her fertility and her cycles and everything. She said, I find myself, oh, I wish that I had started it back when, because I had actually told her about it back when I first started. I think she maybe took the products for a little bit and then was trying to do some other things with her health. And so she got off of them. She's like, oh, if I had only stayed on, it's just like, but I can't think that way. Like, I just need to trust all in God's timing. But it is amazing. Like, I find it such a blessing that I found it when I did.
And I feel that played a massive role in where the trajectory of where you were going versus where you are now.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
massive, massive difference. And I have the same feeling because my husband's 56 now, I'm 43. And that before we found activation, I would always think, what is our state? What is the state of our health really? And is something doom and gloom around the corner for us?
Yeah.
And I don't feel that anymore. I feel very empowered with activation. I feel very confident. And I feel like understanding what the root cause of disease is and how to approach it, how empowered we actually are, you know? And I will say, I just wanted to share one more thought. Um, but now the kids came out. I'm distracted.
And I just looked at my daughter. I'm like, oh, I hope she like took care of my sourdough bread in the oven.
So we have to go back to our other life. So let's close this out. But I know what I wanted to say. I just wanted to say, if I could download to you guys all the things and stories I've heard about activation in the last 6.5 years,
Yeah.
it would blow your ever-loving mind. It's so extremely powerful and root cause. So we hope you guys take a look at it. We have a lot of information. We have a group to connect you with, and also a presentation of just the business opportunity if you guys are interested in that. So looking forward to hearing you. Danny, thanks so much for taking time with me today.
Oh, same. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.